Greetings, Patrick here. Welcome to another edition of Dollar Theater, the Voters Edition. That's right. Every Friday, we put up one of four movies, and you pick. You have a week to pick which movie that me and the Cheetah will watch. Um, it's all sorts of movies and documentaries and what have you. But the one common thing is you get to pick it out. You like it, you get to pick it out. So obviously, and we also will put the link down. We'll put the link down below so you can go check out the movies that we've already watched on Dollar Tree Theater, on Dollar Theater, the Voters Edition, because we have a lot there. We just got done doing our 17th, and really happy with how it's going. It seems to be a lot of fun. And between this and the regular dollar theater, it seems to be catching on. Last week we watched Walking Tall. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Dollar Theater, the Voters Edition. So last week we picked Walking Tall, the remake from 2004 with The Rock, and thanks to you guys there, that did really well. You guys seem to be into that. We've done some really cool movies too. We've done some westerns in here. We've done some classic 1950s Dracula. We had classic 50s science fiction, some Jules Verne. We've had some creature features with Deep Blue Sea. So you get the idea. We've even reviewed The Untouchables, a documentary, Tea with the Dames, which was really fun. And so yeah. So this week we threw it up there. What we threw up here is a multi-pack, and this was sent to our good friend the master of the boutique ballas, also known as Mr. Bones from the Boneyard. And he sent us this about a year ago or so. And so I thought, well, why not? Let's just throw this up there. There's 7 Gammera movies on here and 1 Gampa. Now, we actually did the very first Gammera movie. We actually did this on Dollar Theater. So we already reviewed 2 of the 8 movies here. I thought it'd be a lot of fun, so I said, let's do it. And the movie that you guys picked out for us to watch today is Destroy All Planets. Though I did put out there, I was sort of hoping that, subconsciously, I was trying to get out there, Gamma versus Chaos, because that's the space bat. And of course, whenever we talk about bats, we got to talk about our good friend Al Lucard. So we ended up doing Destroy All Planets. So what is the Destroy All Planets about, and what makes it worth voting for? Well, this is Gamera. There's two ways you could pronounce this movie. It's Destroy All Planets, or from Japan itself, it's Gamera versus Viras. And it came out in 1968. It's the 4th film of the Gamera series, 4th film. And it definitely establishes completely and clearly that while Godzilla is the adult version of Kaiju back in Japan, back in those days in the 60s, definitely Gamera is the kids' Kaiju. No doubt about that. The kids can control him by their voices if they connect. It sort of reminds me of something you see on Narnia. With all the kids coming through the different dimensions and are able to talk to the other creatures on the other side. While Gammera doesn't talk English per se, but he does understand them by his actions, his body language, and also by nodding his head and doing what they tell him to do. So the plot, such as it is once again some evil space people come flying through space. And they start talking shit, about, we're gonna take over the planet because we need the planet, and it's ours. There are enemies, and Gammera was flying on patrol, because when he hears this, He's not coming by to say, "Hey, how are you guys? You guys need, you guys need some? Do you need maps or something like that?" I mean, Gamera ain't there to offer some maps. He's there to offering an ass kicking. And initially, that's what he does. He starts kicking some ass, and Virus tries to strike out, but Gamera's just too strong. And the first spaceship says that spaceship number 2, be careful because Gamera is here, or he's our enemy. And then they get blown up. So, but they started it. Gamera, that's one thing about Gamera. Won't be none if you won't start none. Because Gamera's a pretty peaceful creature. He really is. Like, whereas Godzilla and a lot of the big boy kaijus, they come looking for to start some static. Gamera is actually a very peaceful turtle. He definitely is. He's definitely more of a ninja turtle than he is a Godzilla turtle. So they go ahead and the first ship blows up after shouting out to their buddies that, hey, there's a crazy ass turtle here, be careful. So anyway, which is really this cool. This part here was really cool because you got to think about this. This movie came out in 1968. The war ended in 1945, World War II. It's amazing. It's amazing to see how fast the American culture and Japanese culture, I don't think it's forgiveness is the right word for it, but they were able to communicate, and it was almost like they didn't like push Japan out of the way. They included them in all their reforms. We treated the Japanese better on Japan. We treated the Japanese better on Japan than we did Americans who had to be antsy. Don't ask me why, but that's just how it was. Now, if you were a Japan born here in the United States during World War II, you were locked up, and you weren't treated very well, and you weren't getting jobs. You suffered a lot of hardship. Whereas after the war had ended, next thing you know, we're seeing that Americans and Japanese are making movies together, and including both Godzilla and Gamera. So anyway, and then one of the things they did was they established that the Boy Scouts were in Japan, and it's a universal troop. It's I guess Japanese, but it's Boy Scouts is international organization. So we see that all the Boy Scouts are around camp, except for 2. Of course they are. We meet Japanese Scout Masayo and American Scout named Jim. Jim, not Jimmy, Jim. Anyway, they talked themselves into going on this really cool submarine. Some scientists, and while they're down there in the ocean, they see Gamera, and the little boys and Gamera connect, and so they have a little race. Except for they see Godzilla. I mean, Gamera is very happy to see the boys. He being a friendly, ninja turtle and everything. Yes, I did mean to say ninja turtle. Anyway, but all of a sudden, the second alien vessel has come to Earth, and they throw out a version of a super death ray, which means they capture them. They can't move around. But Gamera then he goes ahead and he helps the boys to escape, but in doing so, he himself is captured by Viras. That's the creature, Viras. So he's in the force field, and the aliens scan his memories. They want to see who this creature is. Why is he their enemy? Why is he friends of boys and girls all over the world? What's going on with this Gamera thing? And who's the Splinter? But Gamera's not really too happy about having his mind probed. I can guess that, right? Even though it is sort of weird that Gamera's hanging around with 12-year-olds, so I can understand why the alien spaceship is like, dude, can't you make your boys and girls that you chase around? Can't you at least make them past 18? I don't know. You have to go talk to Gamera about that. Anyway, but the space aliens say that unless Gamera obeys them and does what they say, they're gonna kill the two boys. And of course, Gamera doesn't want the blood on their hands, so he does what they ask him to do. That includes he goes on a rampage. Of course, you know that what that means, right? That means we get to see the army in action. But unfortunately for Gamera, not until later on in the series, they do not have masers. Whereas masers were employed to stop Godzilla and company, Gamera did not have masers till later. So you knew that the Japanese army was going to get their ass kicked because they didn't have masers. If you don't believe me, ask our resident kaiju expert, Casey. He'll tell you. Anyway, so the Gamera's trying to find a way to get out of there to free the boys and free this mental control that they have over him. And the boys are doing the same thing. They're trying to get out too. And Gamera, like I said, Gamera is because he's underneath this control. He's going on a rampage that the army tries to stop. But finally, he's able to break free of them. And the aliens start showing their true form, which is basically the creature Viras, which is sort of like a giant squid. He looks like a giant squid. So then Viras and Godzilla they battle it out for the title. And one thing about Gamera, Gamera takes a lot of damage in all his movies. He gets his ass kicked a lot. It's not like when Gigan comes over there and kills everybody, kicks ass. It's like, oh shit. No, Gamera comes over and he takes a beating. And one of them is Viras sticks him in the chest and starts stabbing him, and it looks like he's gonna die right there on the beach. But the two boys rally him and they tell him what to do and how to knock down the evil squid. And so that's what Gamera does. He comes up with an idea on how to beat the squid. Of course, he's also celebrating way before he should. You know how that goes. Hey, look, I scored a touchdown, yay! And then the next thing you know, somebody hits you like 40 times. It's like, dude, if you got a bad guy pinned, don't give up on him until like Raleigh says, like Raleigh Beckett says, check for a pulse. Checking pulse, because he saw what happened to Gypsy Danger, right? He didn't check that pulse in Pacific Rim. They didn't check that pulse, and what happened? He lost his brother. So, but he learned from that. So next time when he was battling over in Hong Kong, he turned to Mako and said, "Listen, we better check for a pulse." And then he unloads into him. That's the kind of kaiju action that we in the Cheetah we love to see here. So Viras he does mess up Gamera pretty well, but Gamera comes up with one last effort, and he takes Viras up for a spin, and he basically freezes him to death, and when Viras falls, he shatters. So he ends up buying the farm at the end. Okay, so I just basically told you the whole damn movie. Spoilers alert. Come on. All right, let's go. All right. So this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. Glad Mr. Bones sent this to me. We've already covered. Now we covered 2 of the 8 movies here. A lot of fun. I mean, holy hell! How could anybody not like a kaiju movie? Godzilla or King Kong, or either the Japanese version of King Kong or the American version of King Kong, except for Skull Island. I guess Skull Island looks like the most stupidest kaiju movie I've ever seen. It looks even worse than it even looks. It looks horrible. Anyway, I don't know. Tell me what your thoughts are. Skull Island, yay or nay? But this is a fun movie. It's fast paced. It's an hour and 25 minutes. A lot of action. You know, a lot of action for these type of movies. I enjoyed it. I love these type of movies, and if I could find them, I would. I definitely would. But these kind of movies are rather hard to find these days. These are not easy to find. A lot of times, even the multi packs are slowly slipping away. My multi pack came from two, TGG Direct. Now, what's going on with this is like there wasn't very many copies of these made. Now they're public domain, yes, but you're not really seeing a whole lot of public domain movies released like this, like with Gamera. You're not seeing that really released anymore because basically, where are you gonna buy it from, right? Now we're no longer selling physical media, so finding physical media copies of any kaiju movie is a rare thing. And So very grateful for my copy of the Gamera series. Still, and I got Rodan. I picked up a copy of Rodan at the bookstore, so we'll be doing that one soon too. And also the Godzilla. So we still got the Godzilla universe to talk about. We still got Pacific Rim 1 and 2 to talk about. So there are a lot of kaiju movies for us to still speak about. Plus SRS, who we talked to, Ron Bonk. He is getting ready to release a lot of kaiju films this year, 2025. I'm looking forward to them. I've already seen a couple of those movies that he has released. I had no problem with them at all. I think they're great. I think it's great. I think it's great that they're doing them. And so yeah, I guess that's about it for this one, right? So this is Dollar Tree Theater. Dollar Theater Voters Edition, and we're gonna put 4 more up as soon as I put this one up for running, and then when we do, we'll put it up there, and you guys can start voting again. But thank you for watching, and if you see anything that if you see any if you have any comments or editorials or what have you, by all means go ahead and drop a comment down below. All right, that's it for us. We will talk at you soon. Patrick. I'm Patrick. The Cheetahs are around here somewhere, and we will see you next week. Peace.